Yeah, they wishing and wishing and wishing on me. They wishing and wishing and wishing on me. I've been moving kind, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you learn it with me. Oh, hey. Sorry, I just get that catchy song stuff stuck in my head, and then my procedural memory I can't help myself. Well, welcome back. Let's pick up where we left off and drill into the first two parts of what teachers communicate to focus your learning. Teachers communicate what you should know and be able to do by the end of a unit, class, or course, and why it's important for you to be able to do it. Teachers have to teach students how to become skilled in specific standards. These standards, which are represented by codes, cover every subject and things like reading strategies, writing strategies, mathematical thinking and calculation, social and historical concepts, scientific topics, and hundreds of other skills. Each standard is written in such a way that it communicates to teachers, students, and parents what each student should know and be able to do by the end of a particular period of time. What you see here are the codes for real essential and supporting standards in the 7th grade English Language Arts class for the year. So imagine if each standard on this page covers multiple skills and multiple concepts and it's written in paragraph form, how incredibly complicated teaching and learning all of this can be. I mean, there can be 80 standards on average in a year, and there's only 180 days in the school year. So what do? How do teachers prioritize all of this, make learning focused, fun, and prepare each student for success in each class? Well, here's the answer. Teachers do a lot to focus learning, make it fun, and challenge you to grow and achieve more each and every day. However, there are three main things that teachers do initially to help focus learning. One, they look at all of the standards they are supposed to teach in that particular subject at that particular grade level, and then they narrow them down to the most important or essential standards that they believe all students can become proficient in, or at least really good at, by the end of the year. Those essential standards then become their main goals for the year. While they still cover, talk about, and do some things with all of the other standards they're supposed to teach, they spend most of their time focused on really helping all students achieve all of the essential standards for that class. How do they do that? They do that by teaching essential standards many times throughout the year and by breaking them apart into little tiny focused pieces in each lesson. Students master these smaller pieces of each essential standard, called learning tensions, but more on that later, and then eventually put them all together to demonstrate mastery of the whole thing. Woohoo! Here's a visual illustrating essential standards pulled out of all of the standards to help provide focus for the year. Okay, so let's get to the heart of the matter. Essential questions and essential standards are terms that you'll hear all of the time in your classroom. They are at the core of everything that you'll be doing in a particular class. They are your targets for learning and the rationale for why they're important. Here's a metaphor that may help. We, as humans, cannot survive without a heart. Would you agree? Your heart and your brain are arguably the two most essential organs in your body for survival. Think of the essential standards as the heart of what you need to know and be able to do if you're going to survive in the next unit or grade level. If you cannot demonstrate mastery of the core skills and content and the essential standards of the course, the heart, it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to survive in the next unit or course. Most courses have between 12 and 20 essential heart standards that ensure survival as you progress. This isn't all the teachers cover, though. They teach supporting standards as well, and these standards are the skills and content that help but aren't crucial for your survival. In the metaphor, consider these supporting standards to be the arms and legs standards. They are great and helpful and enable you to do a lot of things more quickly, efficiently, or effectively, or dynamically. But you can survive without arms and legs and still be successful if you have a heart. While there are typically less than 20 essential heart standards, There can be as many as 60 or more arms and legs supporting standards. Teachers are going to cover all of them, but focus on students mastering the essentials with lots of practice, assessment, extra support, and feedback. Take a look at this visual. Maybe it'll help you to remember. With hard work and determination, every student can become proficient in both the essential standards and the supporting standards. But essential standards provide the blood and oxygen to make the supporting standards work, and therefore get 70 to 80% of the focus. Essential standards are needed for survival. They are skills and content that must be mastered in a particular class by the end of the year. They are what you need to know and be able to do. They're what you need for survival, while the supporting ones help but aren't necessarily crucial. While the heart's the metaphor for the essential standards and what we need to know and be able to do by the end of a unit or course to survive, the brain is the metaphor for essential questions and why we need to know the essential standards in the first place. They help to drive relevance and curiosity around the essential standards to ensure many new dendrites or blossoming and strong neural connections are being made. Let's take a look at a visual to continue the metaphor. Essential questions should be explored, and students should ask more questions to dig even deeper. Without essential questions, the skills and the content can seem less than relevant, and that simply kills student motivation to learn. Now that you have the basic idea, which is that essential standards are the heart and what you need to know and be able to do, and the essential questions explore why you need to know it, let's look at a couple of examples and dig a little deeper. Here's an example of a 7th grade math standard. It communicates what concepts students should know, what skills students should be able to demonstrate, and how complex or difficult the related tasks are going to be. Teachers and students should always be able to pick out the verbs in any standard to identify the skills that they will be working on. They're underlined in this example. And then discuss how difficult the tasks will be related to the standard. This particular standard may take months to become really good at with regular practice. Go ahead and read this standard out loud and see how smart you sound. I'll give you 20 seconds. Go. Good job, Professor. Now this is an example of a 7th grade English language arts standard. It also communicates what concepts students should know, what skills students should be able to demonstrate, and how complex or difficult the related tasks are going to be. Teachers and students should always still be able to pick out the verbs in any standard to find the skills that they'll be working on. They're underlined in this example too, and then discuss how difficult the task will be related to the standard. This particular standard may also take months or the entire year to become really good at with regular practice and lots of mistakes. Go ahead, read this one out loud too. Ready, set, go. Good Lord, smarter by the minute. I say, you sound brilliant. Okay, so here's your task. What word have you seen and heard the most in this video? What's that? Exactly. Essential. So what does that word actually mean? You have a graphic organizer to complete with other members of your house in your advisory. So when the video ends, and at your teacher's direction, get up and move into a group with other members from your house. Complete the graphic organizer and put your names and your house name on the sheet. Points are going to be awarded for the most comprehensive organizer that pulls together all of the pieces discussed in a way that helps me grow more dendrites. Good luck.